uh, record-setting closing with the Dow Jones over 43,000, which is just insane.
Yeah.
And S&P also record levels. Again, these clowns that are running around in their Lamborghinis and getting richer than ever before, and somehow saying, "Oh, Donald Trump was better." No, it wasn't. No. This is for those people. This is as good as it gets. Also, sports. The Mets and the Yankees win. The Jets could have made it a trifecta, but unfortunately, they're the Jets. But some good football, good baseball played last night.
Yeah, huge bounce back win for the Mets. They got smoked in Game 1 out in L.A. They kind of had to have it even for morale. And Lindor hits a leadoff home run, setting the tone. Gosh, he's been so good. And the Mets take Game 2. That series now tied 1-1, coming back to New York tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the Yankees got a great start from Carlos Rodon. They needed it. They went up 1-0 in their series. And the Jets, that is a very winnable division. I might even say a terrible division. The Patriots are terrible. The Dolphins don't have a quarterback. The Bills even look a little shaky this year, though we know they'll be good down the stretch. They had a chance for a big win last night and couldn't get it done. Jets lost, too. So New York went 2 for 3 last night. And, Joe, on your original point about the economy and the state of things, Dow over 43,000. The noted commies over at Goldman Sachs saying GDP growth will be stronger under Kamala Harris than it will be under Donald Trump if their policies are enacted. And the Wall Street Journal citing a huge group of economists, 7 out of 10 saying, this is brand new, 7 out of 10 saying that a Kamala Harris economy will be better for America than will a Donald Trump economy. Again, that's from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. Not Mother Jones, not The Nation. It's the Wall Street Journal, and the Economist being very clear there. Let me ask you just on entertainment. I know we're all very busy, but you know I need a break away from this nonsense. And so Meek and I have been watching some shows a good bit. Of course, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives. I don't know if those are still on or not. But I just noticed like. Apple TV is like kicking it into another gear. Got Disclaimer, which we saw the first 2. Ooh. Whoa, Disclaimer, amazing. And Slow Horse is one of my favorite. This is strongest season. The finale this year. If you haven't seen Slow Horses, I mean, I can't say enough about how good Slow Horses is. And we need to get Mick Herron on, who was. He was doing some business journal for, I don't know, like maps and measurements or something. And it was writing spy novels on the side. And Slow Horses just took off after years. And then finally.
Yes.
Bad Monkey.
Oh, I love Bad Monkey.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn, very good in Bad Monkeys, too. So
yeah.
I don't know if, Willie, you've had a chance. You got younger kids. I don't know if you had a chance to see any of these, but they're lining them up at Apple TV.
I'm a Vince Vaughn guy from way back. It's so great to have him back in the center of the culture. He's so good on that show on Bad Monkey. I haven't started Disclaimer yet, but I've heard incredible things. Kate Blanchett come on, and Sacha Baron Cohen is on Smartless this week with our buddies over at Smartless, which is just a fantastic episode, talking about this show, but also Borat and all these backstories. So he's supposed to be great in that. Cannot wait to see that. The most recent show I've watched, because I do have a 17-year-old daughter, 2 nights ago, I watched the season premiere of Outer Banks, which is a high school teen drama. I had a lot of catching up to do with John B, with JJ or BJ or some other kid. I'm pretty locked in there.
Is that like 2024's version of, what was that?
It's a lot of like attractive people who are like 30 but are supposed to be in high school. It's kind of like 90210, but they're on an adventure. It's more of a caper.
But wasn't there
not
one
30-something
in North Carolina that was based out of North Carolina?
Outer Banks. I think that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
Oh, is it the same thing?
No, you're talking Katie Holmes like 20 years ago. What was
Katie
that one called?
Holmes.
What's that show? Meg, come on.
Okay, we
You know,
can
the
work
Katie
this
Holmes.
out later, guys.
Yes.
Dawson's
Yeah.
Creek.
Do you
Alex
guys know
Corson
we're
tells
on
us.
TV?
That's it. No, we're not on TV yet.
Oh
They
my
haven't
God,
given
Joe,
us.
we are on
We're
No,
so
we're
TV.
not.
cool.
No,
We're still in the
no,
break.
no. I've got to say one final thing. One final thing. One final thing. So,
Sorry, Meg.
listen, we go
Put you on the
in
spot.
and we're watching Disclaimer, and Kate Blanchett. Who's better than Kate?
Incredible.
Nobody. Nobody. Sacha Baron Cohen. Who's better?
So interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
He delivers an incredible performance. Do you know who completely blew us away? And I know will blow viewers away? Kevin Kline.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Oh
performance.
my God. Just one of the most moving performances I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
So, by the way, this hour
Okay.
brought to you by Disclaimer.
Okay.
And Kevin Kline's agent.
Are you okay? Do you have my COVID?
He's great.
No, I'm doing.
Okay. All right.
I'm doing fine. What do we?
He just keeps going on and on. At 8 past the hour, we're now going to get to the news.
Well, let's talk about the Red Sox. Hey, Lemire.
Oh, my God.
Do you want to do the news?
I should do the news. Yeah.
You can do the news if you want to.
I would like to.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time.
Before I start coughing again.
I'm going to be streaming Dawson's Creek over here. If you could just do a solo shot on me, that'd be great.
All right. We have learned at 8 past the hour that Kamala Harris, the vice president, will sit down for an interview with Fox News tomorrow. It will be her first ever formal appearance on the network, and anchor Brett Baer will conduct the interview. On social media, Baer responded to questions from viewers, writing, quote, "There were no preconditions to get the interview. No one has the questions ahead of time except me. No topic is off the table, and if there is any editing, it will be very minimal." Vice President Harris will also sit down for a town hall-style discussion in Detroit today, moderated by radio personality Charlemagne the God, host of the popular morning show, The Breakfast Club. The event is scheduled to last 1 hour and will be broadcast across nearly 150 radio stations nationwide. Charlemagne has confirmed the town hall will have a local audience from the key swing state that will be allowed to ask questions. So Kamala Harris, again, really putting herself out there, Joe,
Now,
if I may.
yes, you may.
In contrast to the former president,
Yeah.
who won't debate. He cannot do a second debate. He will not do a 60 Minutes interview. And he stays in very cloistered
Right.
interviews where people kind of
I got to say,
help him along.
but if you look at him swaying last night to the music,
What was going on there?
Right, you swaying to the music,
I'm
does
really
that very well.
interested.
And I'm still very deeply disturbed by Kamala Harris's second answer on The View.
But what was
or
the
was it
swaying?
the fourth? I don't know what it was, but no, you're exactly right. And I'm being sarcastic, everybody. Just relax. Gene, from Charlemagne the God to Brett Baer.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sure they
that's
hang.
a-
I'm sure they hang out together, and maybe just a dash of Joe Rogan thrown in there. Talk about it.
No, I mean, here you see the contrast, right? She's sitting around with Fox News, a hostile audience or a hostile place for her. I mean, Brett Baer is one of the people at Fox News who actually is a journalist, and so, but nonetheless, it won't be friendly questioning. Charlemagne the God. Audience will be asking questions. Who knows what people will ask? She's putting herself out there in these situations. You contrast that, of course, with Donald Trump, who last night, and I'm sorry to go back to this bizarre evening, but who last night sits down to do this town hall with Kristi Noem, the dog shooting governor of South Dakota. And first of all, she's in this weird, obsequious way, is always calling him sir this and sir that. And he gets through like 4 questions, and a couple of people in the audience, because it's very hot, have these medical events. And then he just stops and he plays music. He plays this weird playlist for 39 minutes, according to the Washington Post. We counted 39 minutes. He stands there on stage swaying to the music, and that's it. I just try to imagine what the coverage would be like, what the headline would be like if, for example, say Kamala Harris did that. If she did anything like that, like it would be two-line screaming headlines in newspapers across the world. And Donald Trump does it. And again, there are stories about it, but it's like, oh, well, yeah, he is that weird. But then we sort of move on. This is not normal behavior. This is not a competent, normal person. This is crazy. But there he is.
If you're just waking up and wondering what on earth you're watching right now, this is a Donald Trump rally last night in Pennsylvania where there were two, it's incredibly hot in the room, we're told by our reporters who were there. People arrive early, they stand up for a long time. And there were two medical incidents where people passed out. They were both okay, thank goodness. But after the second person passed out, Donald Trump decided it was time to stop doing the Q&A for some reason. I think he sensed people had been standing and maybe were bored, and had his staff just play music for 39 minutes, 9 songs, I believe, in total, ranging from Pavarotti to Guns N' Roses. And he stood on stage with South Dakota's Governor Kristi Noem and just danced and swayed for 40 minutes and then left and walked off the stage. Truly a strange scene there. There's the playlist if you want to dial that up on Spotify later. Peter Baker, it gets to a larger question. Donald Trump couldn't even answer questions, very friendly questions from Kristi Noem in that town hall setting. Hasn't done much interview, and he's certainly not confrontational or an adversarial interview in a very long time. Wouldn't do the 60 Minutes interview, won't do another debate, on and on. What is your sense of things inside the Trump campaign? What should we glean from the fact that he won't really do anything other than a rally or an extraordinarily friendly interview?
Yeah, he's not putting himself out there. No question about that. He likes to razz Kamala Harris for not taking questions, but in fact, she's done a lot more to take questions than he has lately. Questions not just from friendly interviewers, as you say, going on Fox News is her way of showing she's not afraid. She can take on, an interviewer who doesn't have her best interest at heart, let's say. And I think that it's her way of sort of daring him, sort of kind of goading him a little bit, calling him out. He likes to portray himself as strong. That's his favorite word, strong. But of course, it's not strong to only talk to people who already agree with you, and it's not strong to duck tough questions. And she's trying to suggest basically she's willing to do what he's not.
Anand, we're at such a pivotal time in this country's history. You can talk about the disinformation, the lies that the former president and J.D. Vance have been continuing to spread about the 2020 election. You can talk about the lies about hurricane relief that has actually gotten in the way of FEMA and others helping people who desperately need it in North Carolina and Florida. You can talk about the lies about dogs and cats that the Republican governor and the mayor of Aurora said is a lie. You can talk about the lies about Venezuela gangs taking over Aurora, Colorado, where the Republican mayor there said that's a lie. We go on and on. But then you can talk about the autocratic threats that continue from Donald Trump about arresting people who oppose him. And then, of course, saying that he was going to use the military, or we should use the military and the National Guard on people that oppose him on the left. People like Adam Schiff. Yesterday, I put this up on Twitter because I've been thinking about it for some time about when I talk to people that support Donald Trump, they usually have like this 3-step process, and it fit very neatly into Glenn Youngkin yesterday. And the apologists, when you say, hey, did you hear that Donald Trump